So yeah, I kind of cover these lax night games, and then I was watching. I did not realize how young you were. I was clipping through these. Let me stop. We'll introduce you there first. This is you're Marshall Powless. You play for the Saskatchewan Rush, and the way I first got to see you was playing for the Basin Bombers in Laxnigh. But I was watching, and as I was clipping through the highlights, I was the way you view the floor and pass the ball was what really made me want to talk to you. Like I was just clipping through the highlights and you throw like laser behind the back passes through traffic, like like it's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, just a lot of practice. I grew up with like my brothers and my dad outside pretty much every day, and I don't really think of like a behind the back pass as like a fancy pass. It's more of a if you think of like another threat. So like defenses are ready for a pass if you throw a forehand. If you throw it like a backhand, then it takes them off guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It was cool. I grew up and watched field lacrosse for a long time. I'm pretty new to box lacrosse, but watching the way, like you said, you change the angle of the shot completely without doing that traditional the way I learned it, where you spin, switch hands, you throw it behind the back, and it's like half a second away from where the defender's got to stick in place, so he's blocking the pass there. But
Mm-hmm.
let me start from the beginning, I guess. How long have you been playing box lacrosse?
Since I was four, I started like when everyone else starts, and yeah, it's I've been playing since, and I played field lacrosse for like a tournament or two, and then I also played it like my last year of high school, but not a big fan of field lacrosse, more box lacrosse for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite flavor of it to watch. I think it's the most exciting, hands down. Um, but actually, Steven Stamp sent me a message the other day. One of his favorite highlights from it, he asked me to resend it to him, was the one where you're coming down on Duncan, and it's the clip I've got sitting behind me now, and you just kind of, as soon as he comes over, you do the slow trickler like bounce back across the other side just from watching him
Oh,
play,
Marshall
and you
Palace,
can
you're a
tell that's
bad.
just from years of experience. Now, where did you grow up playing? What was your youth organizations like?
Six Nations. So that's where like I played. It's like that's where I live, so it's the closest center to me. That's where I played all grown up.
And so I'm guessing you played juniors.
I did. I played in I started out in junior C, which was Six Nations Warriors, and then the year after that I played in Wallaceburg, which was the Wallaceburg Red Devils, and then I played the year after that with the Six Nations Rebels, and then COVID happened the year after, and then my last year got shortened, so I played with the Arrows my last year, but it was like only like a 2 3 week like kind of tournament style. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it's crazy to me because like I didn't even know what it was in the whole junior senior circuit, but you can see the difference in the stick skills and the knowledge of the game and the floor IQ really between like those of you guys that have been playing it forever and some of most of our American players, and especially I live like an hour north of Albany. Field lacrosse is fairly big in some areas, but
Mhm.
we do not have the stick skills to compete with you guys out there on the floor. It's a different breed of lacrosse. It really shines where you see that creativity uh, and that. I mean, and like you said, most of it is you've just played for years. I mean, how much you probably couldn't even think how much time you actually have with your stick in your hand.
Uh, yeah, not really. I can't really like put together a number for you, but um, all growing up, it was just always outside on the like in the backyard, like whenever we were bored or after supper, we would go outside and have a game, and then that's where all these other like shots come in, like the bounce shot there. I used to my brothers would go on net, and they're good, so like I would have to try and do a little change up to try and catch them off guard, and so that was one of the moves there I did, and it worked. So then I started doing it in practices, and it worked. So I might as well try it.
Yeah, it definitely worked. Now, how did you what was this Base and Bombers team? Because it just seemed like, is this a tournament team? Do you guys play all the time?
Yeah, it's just a tournament team. So this guy from Tonawanda, he owns the team, and he's just asked people to play, and so I played for them before, just in tournaments, and so they asked me to play, and I haven't seen them in a long time because of COVID. So I was like, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was impressive to me. I was yeah, I really the skill level out there. My only real introduction was I'd watched the Firewolves, and then I covered the NABLL, and there is a huge gap difference between like what the NABLL is with us being slightly behind the eight ball, and you can really tell the
There's a
difference
chance in
between
front.
those
What a pass from
teams like
Marshall Palace,
you
and
guys
the
who
lovely finish from
from the
Waylon
Six Nations.
Abrams.
I mean, you guys have been playing since little kids. It's a natural, yeah, it's just it's different level. It's cool. Now, where in Six Nations are you from?
Um, so I guess there's only like one, like it's a reserve, so it's only like kind of like a town, I guess. And then like Oshwegan is like the main, I guess the main part of the town, so that's what everybody's considered is from Oshwegan.
Gotcha. Because yeah, I was talking to Neil Powless last night, and then we streamed his out this morning. But he was telling me, he said, no, he goes, it's actually we're two separate families. He goes, somewhere along the lines we might be related, but it's really funny because he was explaining to me all of your relatives essentially that are professional lacrosse players and have been amazing through lacrosse, and then his side of the family, which is, you know, as far as he knows, not directly related to you guys, but it's just interesting. And then there's another guy who's from over on the west side. He was telling me that rides bikes, like road bikes, and was cycle racing. Another Paulus who's setting the he was leading the Tour de France at one point last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he only knew because he coaches the Netherlands team, and one of the guys, one of his assistant coaches and videographers or something like that, was there recording it, and they were laughing because the guy's name was Nielsen Paulus, so they kept calling him Neil's son Paulus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you play for the Rush? How did you end up getting? Did you get drafted by the Rush? Were you like a walk-on tryout player, or how did that pan out?
Yeah, I got drafted in 2020, seventh overall in the first round, and yeah, from that point on, I just went to training camp, and yeah.
Yeah, that's and that's you know, I just started following the sport, and that's I knew I had watched you play with the Firewolves, but I hadn't really put together like Lax Night was so crazy. There was so much talent out there. I could not keep track of how many people were out there playing. I mean, just on your team alone, I mean the stuff guys were doing with the goals, it just blew my mind. I'd never seen that level like so consistently because I mean there was just so much lacrosse. There was like 60 games we streamed over the weekend.
Yeah, yeah. It was a lot of games, but yeah, like you said, a lot of talent out there, and it's just it's just like guys having fun, and that's like the best kind of lacrosse is just going out there to have fun, and then that's when all you get to see all these different kinds of shots and tricks and passes, and it's just really fun.
Yeah, it was definitely it's interesting because like with the running clock too, it's a different style and like the teams aren't setting up as much and like you said there's not contracts and stuff on the line, so it's a more
Hmm.
relaxed like fun atmosphere. And there was just yeah, I'm going through the highlights and I've been able to do a goal of the day almost every day just from and I haven't even made it to the B's yet. Is that I've got everything in alphabetical order. So I just got through the Basin because you guys were so close to the top and I was watching all the clips and that's when I reached out to you and was like, "Hey, if you wouldn't mind talking to me about this." So, would you mind explaining a little bit more to those of us that don't know like so what was your journey like to get drafted? Where did you have to play to get seen and that kind of stuff for people who don't know because where we are there's really not a lot of box lacrosse. It just kind of started. We have some hockey programs, and our youth baseball is a little bit closer to like your system, but it's not a
Hmm.
real big thing.
Yeah, so I guess where I first got, I guess, kind of like recognized. was my 2019 year. I played for the Rebels, the Six Nations Rebels. It was junior B team, but I got like 151 points in like 20 games or something. And so yeah, it's quite a bit. And then I had a like my team. We made it to the championship, which is the Founders Cup, but we fell short one goal. But I had a really good tournament then too. And the same year, I got called up to play for the senior B team, the Six Nations Rivermen, and I had a really good tournament there too. And we ended up winning the championship there. And I think from that point, playing with men, I knew that I was gonna like that I could do it, and that I wasn't really like afraid because like senior is just men. There's NLL players that play in senior B, so I was thinking like, well, like I wasn't too bad, so like I did not bad, and so I feel like I'm ready. And then so I waited a year, and 2020 hit, and then yeah, I just decided like I'm just gonna go for it, put my name in, see where I fall. And yeah, that's what I did. And then I had a few different coaches call, but Derek Keenan called. It was that's when he told me like he wanted to take me seventh, and so I was pretty pumped up for that. And yeah, draft night rolled around, and that's where I went.
That's got to be an amazing feeling. I mean, you spend so much time working towards it, and like you said, not even so much working towards it, just enjoying it and playing it, but so many hours and so much goes into it. What was draft night like for you? Hanging out with the family and everybody kind of got to celebrate it because it's not just you, your parents, and like what people don't understand with like sports like this, for you to be able to play juniors and seniors, there's a lot of sacrifice. You're traveling all the time. You don't get a lot of time at home. You're practicing, nonstop.
Yeah.
Just it's not an easy task.
Yeah, so yeah, draft night, my girlfriend, she set up this whole big night for me. So she bought like because it was COVID, it was over the like online. So she bought like, well, not bought, but rented out this big screen that you could set up outside, kind of like a big movie theater kind of deal. And I had my whole like my brothers and my mom and dad there, and then my grandfather was there as well. So then it was a pretty big deal. He was a really big fan and a really big reason why I love the game. And then yeah, like when I got drafted, it was just yeah, it was a dream come true because it's something I always wanted to do was be in the NLL. And then as soon as I got my name called, then it just kind of like became reality and was unbelievable.
Yeah. So how old were you when you started playing seniors there? Because you said 2019. How old are you now?
I'm 22 right now, and in 2019 I was 19.
Yeah, that's a big thing. So what a lot of people don't understand is so the junior program actually runs up till 21, just like the hockey program, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're playing in the senior team as uh, as a young man, kid, essentially still, you're playing against 20, 30-year-old men that are in their athletic prime. So it's definitely it's impressive, but and then like you said, that's got to be an amazing feeling, a dream come true. Your grandfather. Now, how many family members do you have? Because what I ended up finding talking to Neil is his brother, his grandfather. A lot of people played pro. How many of your family members have played pro?
Family members have played pro. I'd say like my brother Johnny was he played for I think 9 years maybe. And his first 3 years, he won the championship. So that kind of like set the bar real high for me. But my uncle Josh, he got drafted and played for the Black Wolves when it was back in New England. And I believe my dad played, but like back before it was called the NLL, it was called something else. So it was it's kind of like we're a big lacrosse family, so like a lot of I guess we're just naturally drawn towards the game of lacrosse.
Yeah. And I mean, talking about now, what team did your brother play for when he won the three championships?
That was with the Rochester Nighthawks.
Okay. And so, I mean, that must have been pretty cool too to get drafted by Saskatchewan. I mean, that's a history team. They have been a powerhouse for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought as soon as they like when he called. I was like, oh yeah, this is where I wanted to go. And because of Johnny playing, I was able to watch them like throughout the years, and every like it seemed like every other year they're in the championship or like up there anyway. So I was thinking like they got to be doing something right. They play as a team, and it seemed like they included everyone in their offense. So I felt like that was like the best fit for me when it came to like if I had to choose. So I was really glad he reached out, and really glad that's where I ended up.
Yeah, I was just super excited to see, uh, like to be able to watch you guys play and then to find out that you played for them. Now, what did you feel about your first year in the NLL?
It's a learning experience. I think with any rookie. So my first three games, I didn't score any goals in the first three games, but I got a couple of assists. But it was just kind of more feeling the game out. So the guys are a lot stronger, guys are a lot faster. The game's a lot more faster paced. And then like I'm when I grew up playing, I was always growing up playing and thinking pass first, try to make the play, and then so that's what I was used to. And it's a bad like it's not a bad habit. It's just like a hard habit to break. And then when I got to the NLL, it was more of if you got the shot, take it because you're not gonna get a lot of good shots. So like I had to learn instead of like looking for like the quality pass to make or the quality shot that I would just have to take whatever it gives me. And so that's what I did. And so with my fourth game, I got my first goal, and then my second game, I got a couple of goals, and just like just adjusting to the game is was the biggest thing for me this year or last year, sorry. And this year is going to be um, different, hopefully, just because I know what to expect and I know kind of how to play in the game now. So I'm excited for this year.
Yeah, definitely. And watching your Lax Night clips and a lot of the footage from there, you the way you view the floor and your assists so has got to be a big part of your game. I mean, you're pretty good on setting people up and knowing where they're going to be. I would definitely see growing into your second year with the team and because you guys have already started training camps and all that, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're just going to get more familiar, and I would imagine, like you said, not forcing stuff, but I don't know your style too, though. I would be willing to assume you're going to keep getting a lot of assists, and yes, the goals may, you're going to hope obviously start piling up as well, but yeah, your vision of the floor is what I really enjoyed about watching you play, and like I was just clipping through, and there's one that you won't even get credit on the play, but you come up give the ball off to the far right side, but then set the pick so that guy can come over and throw a pass across. And it's a lot of stuff like that that doesn't necessarily make the score sheet, but I think I would assume that's a big part of the reason you're there is a lot of the little things because your first year in the NLL, they're not going to expect you to get, 50, 60 goals in the year, but just being able to have the vision and like, what was it like getting your first assist in the NLL?
Yeah, my first assist was it wasn't really too crazy. It was just like a swing pass, and when I swung it across the right, he just Josh Courier, I believe, just took it in and ran underneath and then dove and scored. So it wasn't really like a play that I set up, but it was just more of a just swing the ball and get it to the right side to get the defense moved out. So yeah, that was my first assist there.
And then how was it? What was it like scoring your first goal in the NLL? That must have been an insane feeling. Like your whole body's going nuts. And
Oh yeah, yeah. It took me a quick second to kind of comprehend what happened. I was just like when you're playing, you're not really like you don't got time to like have time to look and see. Okay, this part's open. I'm gonna shoot here. It's just more catch it and shoot. And if like in my case, like the goalie moved the wrong way, so it was just like a kind of like a shock feeling. And yeah, it was just a really big just like a big weight lifted off my chest just because I feel like I needed to score. Like I was three games and then couldn't go forward without scoring. So it was just really long overdue, I believe.
Yeah, getting the icebreaker's got to be, like you said, a great feeling. But like you were talking about there, it's more of a feel thing. Like you said, you're not really, oh man, let me look and see what the goalie's giving me. You're kind of building tendencies throughout the game. You know what the goalie's giving you, and when you catch it, you've pretty much already made the decision where the ball's going beforehand. And a lot of that, yeah, like you said, what did you notice the biggest difference was playing like senior B versus playing in the NLL? Was it the consistency of just like every top team, like your top couple of guys from your senior leagues, is what the entire team is in the NLL?
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't matter who you play with when like you're playing on offense. Everyone knows everyone's good enough to know when you're open, when like what a good pass is. So like and then knowing like how to work a pick and roll, like or like just kind of reading and reacting on whatever the defense is doing. So with them, like with playing with someone like with people that know that have like a really high IQ and that are able to make passes that not a lot of people are able to make, then that's really it just really feels good to play with those like with that. And you know senior B, like I'd say the biggest jump was like the tempo of the game and how big the guys were, because like you said, like yeah, offense is all like the offense is a lot better, but also means the D guys get a lot better too. So every D guy, like you're not gonna find a weak spot, right? So it's just pretty much playing against men that know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah, and everybody, is at that top level. It's really impressive. I love watching the NLL. Once I wish I found this sport years ago because it is. We have season tickets to the Firewolves. We're only 40 minutes away, so we go to every game. It's crazy. My kids who don't even play any sports, they love going to the Firewolves games. And they're talking smack to the goalies, and it's a party. It really is. The atmosphere that's created by the guys like you that are out there playing though, because you play so emotional, like everybody is just going nuts in the stands. And like when you see what was it like to play in Saskatchewan, to be able to play in like that storied arena and when the fans are going absolutely crazy?
Yeah, that's probably like the it's just like a really good feeling. Especially when they're on your team. Like they're cheering for you and not against you. So yeah, I believe the arena holds about like 15,000, but I'm not sure we filled it up this year just because of COVID. So I think the most we had was maybe like 10,000, 11,000. But yeah, like running onto the field is or I guess the floor with like just seeing phone lights and all that lighting up and stuff like that is just an unbelievable feeling. And it's they're definitely the best fans in the league. They let the other team know that they love Saskatchewan.
Yeah, yeah. There's certain places that are like that. Saskatchewan, Buffalo are really the two
Mm.
that I think of like when you watch the games on TV. It's crazy. And I went to a Buffalo game. Those guys are nuts. Like that is crazy. And then I've watched the Saskatchewan ones on TV too, and it's the same way. You can see like everybody the actual knowledge of the game too, as far as like what guys are cheering for. The fans really seem to understand like big plays, big transition plays,
Hmm.
big stops and stuff like that. Yeah, that's got to be an epic feeling. Now, how are you what are you thinking going into the season? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I got a lot bigger than I was before last year. I put on a decent amount of muscle, and I've been like working out every day. So I'm feeling a lot better about myself, and I'm feeling really confident this year. So I think that's will have a big part of you'll be able to like see it in my game is that I'm a little bit more confident this year. And yeah, I just can't wait to get the season going.
I bet. Now, what are you doing? Is there like a certain plan you're following, or do you have a like fitness trainer you're dealing with, or is it just kind of what you know how to do?
Just kind of know what I know what to do. And my brother Johnny, he had stuff from before when he worked like played. And so just kind of following, like picking out different workouts that I like from his workout plan. And then I also took fitness in high school, so I know the different parts of like what to work out and how to work it out. So I think with like a mixture of all that, it just makes me be able to kind of know what I'm doing in the gym anyways, and not just going just lifting weights.
Yeah, not just showing up and doing like your standard, here's your 10 sets of bench press. So what would like a
Yeah.
normal workout what's a normal workout for you? Like what's the you get to the gym or you get wherever, what's a normal series look like for you?
So I usually get to the gym and I like to start with the warm up. So I like to warm up just because I don't like to dedicate a whole workout just to my core. So I do a 15 to 20 minute workout of I do about a minute plank, and then I don't know what they call it, the Russian twist, and do about 20 of those, and then I do 20 of the like the with your legs elevated and doing the scissors,
Yeah.
and then 20 of the kind of like the same thing but up and down, and then just like a quick 30-second break, and then I do that for about 5 reps, and or 5 sets, sorry, and then after I do that, then I go on a treadmill and like run for about 5 minutes. Then I usually like to work out my legs because I feel like your legs are more like you can do more squats than you can push-ups, right? So you want to strengthen your legs a lot more. It helps on the floor when people are trying to like push you around, right? To have that the strong base. So I would say I like to do like the there's a calf machine that like get your calves stronger. So I hop on that right away. Then just do like the leg raises and stuff like that, and then I go. There's like a little private room that you can go up there, and I do like before that I usually do my squats and my There's like a machine that's kind of like a modified version of squats too. So I hop on that too, and I'll do that, and then for like my ending, I usually do like a kind of like a circuit. So I'll have like burpees one station, and then box jumps, and then I have like a chair, and then you put your one leg up against it, and then do like a kind of like a lunge forward,
So it's a split
and then
squat they think they call it where
split
yeah.
squat. Yeah, and then beside that, I usually have the jump squats with like about 20-25 pounds, and then yeah, and usually do each of those. The burpees 10, box jumps 8, the split squats are about 6 each leg, and then what do you call it, jumps the jump squat or jump lunge, I don't
Yeah,
know,
no,
lunge jump.
yeah, you do
I
like
don't
the
know what they
jump
call
and your legs are flipping.
it. Yeah, I usually do 10 each side, and then do a minute break for that, and then usually go through that 5 times, and then my legs are pretty much it after that. So every time, even if I don't work my legs, I usually go and jump on the bike for 10 minutes, and that's pretty much what it looks like for me.
Yeah, that's huge. Herb uh Dean or not Herb Dean, that's the ref. I'm sorry. Herb the coach for the 1984 Olympic team there. That was his big thing. His legs feed the wolf. If you
Oh yeah.
yeah, if you've got strong legs, a strong core, like you said, because that's what it really comes down to. Because no matter how strong your hands are, if somebody pushes you out of the way because your core and your legs aren't strong enough, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like if you were gonna talk to the 12-year-old you who's just really starting to get into kind of like, oh man, maybe I'm gonna play juniors, maybe I'm gonna, what advice would you give him?
uh just be patient. I like I said, I think I was about 11 or 12 when Johnny got drafted, and then so every game I went to, um, I really watched and analyzed the game and watched every single player and like their role, and then by like the next year, I was able just to know what they were doing, like pick wise, plays. Like I knew, like okay, like this guy's gonna get open on this play, and sure enough, he did. And it was just like really analyzing the game, and I think like I have played for like with our organization we have like what's called like a one team, so that would be A, and then two team would be like B, and then three team would be like C D, kind of like divisions for lacrosse. And I have played for like a CD team before. I was on the three team, so it's like it's kind of like not like a confident, like it has like stuff to do with my confidence. And then I was like, at that time, I was like, oh, like I'm not that good at lacrosse. I'm just like I was like too small at the time too. But I was like, oh, like I'm never gonna be able to play the NLL playing at this level because I'm just it's not good enough. Then as I got older, I got really trained and like I said, I was outside pretty much every day with my stick, and then it really helped to have a brother that's about 2 years older than me, and so we grew up really close, and we grew up outside playing lacrosse every day. So I think just being out there and getting the reps in with my stick and running around just made me like it made me better. So then yeah, I would just say I would have just told myself to be patient and like doesn't matter where you play as long as you put the time and effort into it, then you can pretty much get anywhere.
Yeah, that's a huge message, I think, especially for kids, because a lot of guys think that and you don't see once you once you kind of hit that 12, 13, 15-year-old range and you get your most of your skills honed in, you don't see massive improvements. What you see the improvement is like 3 years, then you look back and you go, wow, I'm so much better than I was 3 years ago. But you don't necessarily see how much you're improving because it's little increments every time. Yeah, I think that's like
Yeah,
you said, huge. Just keep playing, keep watching. Um,
yeah.
yeah. Oh man, that's cool. Like I said, you yeah, you really were one of my favorite players out at Lax Night to watch after now that I've been going through the highlights because the vision of the floor and how it's about to happen. Do you think that's mainly just from watching so much lacrosse, or do you think that happens more just from being involved and not even necessarily having the same teammates forever, but just learning tendencies, learning what guys have to do?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. So like I know if I get like a flip pass, usually like like if defense knows what they're doing, if I get the flip pass, I know the guy from the left of me is coming across the slide to hit me. So I know that the guy that was on him is going to be open. So I'll know as soon as I catch it, it's either a quick shot if I don't see him on the corner of my eye, or I'm flipping it over to the guy that's the defense ran from. And then also just like experience things too, like if it's like a power play and I step in to shoot, the shooter guy comes to get me. It's just an easy backhand to the shooter spot, and then it's like a wide open shot for him. And that's just years of like watching and knowing what the top guys are gonna do. And so yeah, I'd say it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you do when you're not playing lacrosse?
I have I guess my full time job right now is I work with a company that's called Rising Stars, and I do lacrosse camps in schools. So like I do like the background. I teach the background of where the game came from, the difference between the medicine game and the game of lacrosse, and then I just kind of introduce them to the game and like get the sticks in their hands and like let them play around for a bit, and then I'll teach them how to play or how to pick a ball up, pass, catch, cradle, and then the last part is the shoot. And it's a really fun program, and every kid that I've had so far this year loved it. So that's what I do, and I also I'm a teacher's assistant on 1 day a week too, and so I help my mom. She's a teacher for the Kayuga language. It's a introductory to Kayuga language class for this Polytech on the reserve. So that's pretty much what I do on the weekend or during the week. Is you know I guess you could say a teacher from the lacrosse camps and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it sounds like you're just teaching all over the place. Now, one thing you touched on there that I mean, you kind of glossed over it, but I think it's important to understand the difference. There is a difference between the medicine game and lacrosse. The sticks are
Hmm.
different, and I think that's where a lot of the confusion comes in because sometimes I've heard people basically broadly say that natives don't like girls playing lacrosse, and it's like, well, no, that's not true. It's not that they don't want to play lacrosse. They're not supposed to play the medicine game, and what they're playing is different. I mean, would you care to elaborate on that a little bit? I've been talking to a few guys about it, but I just always find it interesting because somebody like me didn't know there was a difference when I first started diving into this.
Yeah, so it's not has nothing to do like it's not sexist or anything. It has nothing to do with the women that you're not allowed to play this and that. But I really like to tell the students that like back in the day, we all had roles. So as men, our roles were to provide. As women, their roles were to take care of the children. And the reason why they didn't play is because they could give birth. And the game back then was really violent. The only rule they had was you couldn't touch the ball with your hand. So they're like, if they got hit the wrong way, it could complicate with the way they give birth and the way things work. So I think at the time the men weren't like we were like I said, it's like they have like a job of taking care of the babies. So we hold them really high in our ways, like we really respect them. And so like if anything were to happen to them, then like we need them to repopulate, and that's what we're supposed to do is repopulate. And so with that being said, if they got hit a certain way, they weren't able to give birth. Then it was just kind of like it would be like I guess kind of like sad, I guess, because they wouldn't be able to give birth, and then that's what they're supposed to do is like repopulate and be the mothers for us. And so that's why they didn't play the original game. But nowadays, like I tell the kids, is it's opportunity for everyone, boys, girls. There's co-ed teams, different like box lacrosse, field lacrosse, million rules set in place, so nobody does not happen to anyone. And like it's just that's just the history of the game is like they just didn't play. I don't know if they weren't allowed to play, but they just didn't play because of the fact that it was a violent game.
Well, I
So yeah.
mean, and the game was called, in our loosely translated understanding of it, bumping of hips. And like you said, the hips are super important to women's production. And if you were talking about bumping hips and breaking things, you probably would not want your. But actually, most especially the like the Six Nations Confederacy that most of us over on this side of the country think about. It's a matriarchal society, is what I had learned.
Mhm.
So it's more to do with, like you said, the history of the game and the violence of the game. And it's not saying that women can't play lacrosse. It's saying they don't play the original medicine game, which, like you said, was violent. Sometimes settled disputes and all kinds of different things. Yeah, I was actually really glad you said it because I usually forget about it when I talk about these things. And actually, today is the anniversary of the Cayuga or Canandaigua Treaty, which
All
also coincides with Veterans Day, but big thing for Native American history, especially in here on this side of the country. So happy
right.
Canandaigua Treaty Day, I guess I would say.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's been an eye-opening experience for me. I try to always include a little bit of like that stuff into these videos I do. Luckily, I early on met Neil, who's big into a lot of that stuff, working for Syracuse, so he's been great with educating me. But
Mm.
yeah, I think you thanks so much for your time.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that we were able to do this.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you taking the time. I wish I wasn't quite so ignorant and knew more about your career. I just found out that you played. Like I saw the helmet too, and it didn't even occur to me. I just had reached out to you because of watching you through the Basin Bombers, and I was like, I really want to talk to this guy. He is so much fun to watch play. Like I said, as I was a defensive guy, but the way you pick apart defenses with the pass, it just it really to me was like, wow, look at that. Because like you just it's the subtle things, like you take a step this way, so you're drawing the stick here from the defender because he's expecting you to pass, and then you completely change your angle, and it kind of leaves him in the dark. And I was like, I want to talk to this guy. This is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right, well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, man. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, nice talking to you too. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.